Hey, welcome to this latest lesson, and today we're going to be busting some myths, like a Ghostbuster. We're going to be getting some myths busted, and basically these are going to prevent you from stalling, from getting overwhelmed, from becoming demoralized because you're not making progress. So we're going to bin the bullshit, and we're going to talk about what's going to get you real results moving forward, and these 7 myths are very common. So first up, why does this matter? Well, I've got 3 kind of very common myths here that I'm just going to cover quickly before we get into the main stuff, but misinformation is everywhere in fitness. It is horrendous. Horrendous, the misinformation in fitness. So please do not fall foul of social media telling you something that is so polarizing that you think it must be true, because that's all social media is. It's an attention-seeking center, essentially. It's not an education center. There are some people on there, I'd like to consider myself included in that are trying to educate people about certain things, but the vast majority of people go on there to be entertained or to be shocked. And when you see something that is polarizing, and by polarizing I mean it's going to divide opinion, it's a very specific thing someone's saying, then people watch it, people click on it, people give a response to it, and that's why people do it. They want views. They don't care about educating people, they want views. So be very careful, all right? That's my first kind of warning. Anyway, things like this are very common on social media and in the fitness landscape. So things like lifting weights make women bulky. No, this is a persistent myth, and it prevents many women from strength training. The truth is it's going to help with bone density, help you increase your lean muscle tissue so you look more toned and defined. It's just got a raft of benefits, especially as you get older. It's going to increase your metabolism as well. So do not be afraid of lifting weights. They are going to be very beneficial for you. And if you combine it with good health and nutrition, you're going to look and feel amazing. No carbs after 6 p.m. Another one that's a load of tosh. It's just there's no scientific backing behind this at all. It does not matter what time of day you eat. It's the amount and quality that you eat that matters. So bear that in mind. Your body doesn't care about the clock. It does not care about the clock at all. And the other one is you must feel sore after every workout. Soreness is not a reliable indicator of an effective session. Progress can happen without pain. You generally will get sore if your body's been pushed to a certain movement or stimulus it hasn't done for a long time, but that doesn't mean it's a good thing. So don't worry about it. We're just generally sore after the first few workouts because our body has not done that before. So like I said before, misinformation is everywhere. Please be careful of it. Now we're going to get into the first myth, okay? Carbs make you fat. They don't. The truth is calories make you fat, not carbs. So excessive calories are going to make you gain body fat. If you eat too many carbohydrates that give you too many calories, yes, you will gain body fat. But the reason people feel they get fat when they eat carbohydrates is because you retain water underneath the skin as part of the kind of balance with glucose, which is carbohydrate, and you're just going to feel a bit squidgier, a bit softer. So please don't panic about it. Carbs aren't uniquely fattening, okay? They're a great energy source. They fuel your training. They fuel your brain. Your brain cannot function without glucose, which is from carbohydrates, and it's a great way to recover. So post-workout carbs can really help replenish the glycogen in the muscles, helps you recover faster, helps your muscles grow and repair faster, meaning you can train more frequently, you can burn more calories more frequently. Everyone's a winner. So carbohydrates, do not fear them, guys. They are very, very good for you. I think the general consensus there is probably that we eat too many of them in general society. Cut them down a little bit, you'll be golden, okay? Now, myth number 2, you need to train every single day. Again, you don't. Quality is always going to trump quantity. So rest days aren't weakness. Rest days are actually essential for you getting results. So training is going to create the stimulus for adaptation. Recovery is where actual progress is made. That's where your body recovers, your muscles get a bit stronger, you start burning more calories because your metabolism's getting faster. Nutrition is going to provide the building blocks for repair. So when you eat good food, it helps your body recover faster. And then when you're consistent with it, that is going to go into this cycle of you can train more regularly. Again, you can recover, you can eat better quality food to help you recover faster. If you're consistent with it, you can train more frequently. This kind of cycle continues. So you do not need to train every single day. I would recommend 3 to 4 times a week minimum. 4 to 6, I would say 6 at a push. The reason I say 6 is that I train pretty much nearly every day, not every day, just because it's great for my head as well, as I just feel good after it. And whether or not that's doing a walk or a jog or a cycle or something, I'm generally active every day. So that's what I would go along, but you don't need to be lifting heavy weights every day or training in the gym or doing kettlebell classes every single day, okay? Myth number 3, lifting weights makes you bulky. I touched upon this one before. The reality is building significant muscle requires a lot of patience, a lot of food, believe it or not. You need really good genetic predisposition as well. You need to progressively overload consistently for years and years and years to build significant muscle. You're not going to get bulky and turn into Schwarzenegger by touching a dumbbell. Trust me on that, okay? Or having a protein shake. So women have around about 15 to 20 times less testosterone than men. It makes building bulky muscle much harder and almost impossible for women to do. So don't worry about it. But what strength training and lifting weights will do for women and men is going to increase strength, it's going to increase bone density, and it's going to create lean definition, which is what we all want. We all want to look athletic, don't we? That's pretty much the goal for everybody, to look more athletic, not just skinny. I think that was a thing in the 90s. We want to look more athletic now. Myth number 4, hours of cardio is needed for fat loss. Again, no. So you do not need hours of cardio for fat loss. It's surprising actually how little an impact that will have on your fat loss. Brief, intense strength sessions often burn more calories and more body fat than cardio does, because you're burning calories after you finish exercise when you're lifting weights. When you're doing cardio, you're burning calories while you're doing it. You don't burn much after. Okay, but you're also going to maintain muscle tissue by lifting weights, which means you burn calories when you're watching Netflix in the evening, when you're watching Coronation Street or whatever it is you're watching, okay? Now, nutrition is 80% of fat loss results. When we have good quality nutrition, you're staying within a calorie deficit, you will get fat loss results regardless of training at all. Now, resistance training is going to preserve muscle tissue and muscle during fat loss, so you can maintain that defined toned physique that we're looking for, that more definition. NEAT is extremely important, and you might be thinking, what the hell is NEAT? Well, NEAT is non-exercise activity thermogenesis, or activated thermogenesis, whichever way you want to say it, and it's daily movement burns more calories than formal exercise. You will burn a lot more calories through just walking and moving your arms, swinging your arms about all day, than you will actually in the gym. It's surprising. However, a gym is going to complement everything else. So, or not a gym, but a workout is going to complement everything else. So don't overlook that, but we need to get NEAT. NEAT is paramount. Getting those steps in, walking, moving, all that jazz. And cardio is beneficial. It's not just the sole focus for fat loss. It's great for your heart health, your lung health, mental health, great for all that stuff, and you will burn calories as well, and you're more likely to stay and adhere to a diet if you are doing some form of exercise, which cardio can be. So hopefully that makes sense, but it's not needed, it's not 100% required for fat loss, but it's very useful. Okay. Myth number 5, you can spot reduce fat. You can target a place on your body to reduce fat, no matter what someone tells you on the internet, where you can rub a gel into your love handles and they disappear. They don't. You can't do side crunches and you lose your love handles. It doesn't work like that. We just are genetically, what's the word I'm looking for? Our genetics are going to determine where fat storage patterns occur. So if it's in your genetics that you've got a big bum, for example, that's going to be the last place for body fat to drop. If you hold your weight around your hips like me, I hold it around my love handles, you could say, the old love handles. And it's just a genetic thing, you know? So don't worry about it. Just keep being consistent with your calorie deficit, and that will eventually go. It will eventually dissipate, but you've got to be patient with it. You cannot spot target it. You need to be in a calorie deficit. You need to be consistent with that, and then total body composition will change over time, not targeted spots. Unfortunately, if only we could, but we can't. So 1,000 sit-ups won't specifically burn belly fat. It won't. Focus on overall fat loss and just be consistent with training, and you will build that defined toned physique you're looking for, but you cannot spot reduce fat. I do apologize on behalf of the human body. Myth number 6, cut out all your favorite foods is the way to go. No, it is not. Smart eating blueprint that I provide follows the 80-20 rule, and that is a far more beneficial way to go about your nutrition, because you can do it long term and you still get fantastic results, because 4/5 of the time, 80% of the time, we're doing the right thing. We're in a deficit, we're eating good quality foods, staying full, getting fiber, protein, all that jazz. 20% you're allowing yourself pizza, cake, chocolate in moderation, because we're trying to achieve something. So we're not going to go and have a whole buffet at Pizza Hut, but we're having that bit of satiation from a mental standpoint and a physical standpoint, so you can stay on track. If you stayed 100% the whole time with your nutrition, if you were bang on, you were eating chicken, broccoli, rice every single day, after 2 weeks you'd be going insane, and after 2 weeks you'd crash and burn, and you'd be going down Domino's Pizza having 4 large Texas barbecue pizzas. So that's not what we want. We want the long-term game. So having a bit of chocolate every now and again during the course of the week, even one every single day, if everything else is on point, that's fine. It's the 80-20 rule. Enjoy treats while still achieving phenomenal results. Extreme restriction is just going to lead to binges. I promise you that. Sustainable wins every single time. And myth number 7, sweat equals a good workout. No, no, no. Sweat is merely a thermoregulatory, can't believe I got that in one, said that word in one, response that varies by 400 to 500% between individuals based on genetics, hydration status, and ambient temperature. Fancy way of saying, if your parents used to sweat a lot, you probably will sweat a lot. If your parents just went red when they exercise, you'll probably go red. I sweat like an absolute pig, all right? I sweat like a pig, and it's not because I'm having a fantastic workout every time. It's just that's how my body cools itself down. Some people go red, some people sweat a lot. That's just how it is. So sweat doesn't necessarily mean you're having a good workout. It just means your body's cooling itself down in its own specific way. So some of the most effective workouts I've ever done is when I'm actually not sweating, because I'm not going around the place too frantically. It's not too hot in the gym or whatever. So yeah, don't worry about sweating. If you're not sweating, it doesn't mean you're having a bad workout. You're still being productive with your workout. However, don't just be sat there on your phone and expecting to get results. You know the drill. That's not going to happen, okay? And myth number 8. I've got an 8th myth here now, and it's fat loss equals progress. So, fat loss equals progress. Now, not always the case. I know a lot of people are always like, I need to lose fat, I need to lose fat. There are far other ways of achieving progress with health and fitness through strength gains. So lifting heavier weights over time is going to show physical improvement regardless of the scale weight. Okay, so when we look at the scales and we get downbeat, does not matter if you're progressing with your strength, if you're feeling stronger, if you're feeling more athletic, that's a win, all right? Energy levels. If your energy levels are better now than the day you started, that is amazing, isn't it? You think about it, you've got more energy, a fantastic metric to go by. Mental well-being, exercise, better nutrition, being active, reduces stress, gives you better sleep, improves your confidence. These are the most valuable things you can have. Don't just focus on the scale. Although we can use the scale as a metric sometimes, it is not the most important thing. These other things are. And then consistency is paramount. Maintaining healthy habits long term is the ultimate measure of fitness success. You can only be classified as a success with health and fitness when it just basically becomes your life, when it doesn't overtake your life, but it becomes habitual, it becomes a part of your life. It's not something you do, it is a part of what you do and a part of your routine every day. And that happens when you are just consistent, and you keep working at it, you figure out what's going to work for you, and that's the long-term game, and that's what I'm here to help you do. All right, so hopefully, guys, this has made a nice bit of sense, dismissing a few myths here today. I know there's a lot of nonsense online, like I touched about at the start. Please, if you see something online and you're not sure about it, message me, because a lot of the time it's bullshit. I'll just put a nice kind of level-headed spin on it. It's probably why I'm not that popular on social media in terms of follow count or whatever, because I just talk in sensible terms rather than trying to be polarizing. So yeah, anyway, that's everything today. There's probably other reasons why. Probably people don't like me, but there we are. Never mind. As long as you guys like me, that's all that matters. So yeah, hopefully that's made sense, guys. If you have any questions, give me a shout, and I will speak to you all very soon.